Hi folks, hope you're doing well. You'll see some different photos today. Well, because it's photos relevant to the conversation today. Yes. Well, there you can see on the first photo, that's a driveway that I normally have to pull my car into in order to get the puppies, my dogs into. Brown bin is around to the left and down steps is where my flat is, so I have to come through that garden and the dogs then come around this driveway, preferably into the car. Those are the steps I have to go up. My flat is down below. What you see there is the Stones area, really, both Stones areas. The top Stone area, that's a driveway of those neighbours. And between that step and those Stone area is a public access area for me to go through and for the people upstairs to take their bins through, etc. On bin day. And so for anyone to deliver parcels or anyone to visit whoever is in the flat I'm in. That's what that area is designated for. Otherwise, the person in my flat just wouldn't be able to get out. They wouldn't be able to get into the flat to start with, wouldn't be able to move in because they would have no access to the flat. So legally, that is a public access area. Although that's been in dispute with the tenant of that property. She believes that that's all her garden and her dog has the right to harass or attack any dog in the area, including mine. And so, yeah. Basically, one of these pictures load up because stupid thing is I'm on Windows 10. Windows 10 doesn't work the same with regards to background as Windows 7. I've always used Windows 7. Windows 7, you can have the pictures change over every 10 seconds. Whereas with Windows 10, it's a minute, which is annoying. You have to wait a long flipping time. Certainly if you want to talk about what the pictures are, it's a long blinking time. So anyway, this picture is about the fact that I, as a Christian, weirdly, it's gone with the same photo. There were 4 photos. It's only shown 2. So, okay. I, as a Christian, whenever I have neighbours, wherever that is, I will always try to make an effort with the neighbours. Always try to make an effort to be friendly, to be nice. But it is a case that with some people, it just doesn't work because that's not who they are. They don't want to do that. And I've said before, and I think it's something I will continue saying until it's proven wrong, but I think a lot of that is in the fact that now people rent, they don't own. Because when you own, you have ownership in the area. You plan to live there for a long time. Because you plan to live there for a long time, you want to get along with your neighbours because they're going to be your neighbours for a long time. All right, there's the other photo. That's where I try and get in with my car, but as you can see, that white box is there. That's the meter box for this property. And geez, that's in the wrong bloody position. Last night, tried to put in, because that van is there, that's where the neighbour upstairs intentionally parked his van there to be a pain in the ass. He knows I always park there because it makes it easy for me to get my van in between the wall and that box. Last night, I tapped the wall because I've got to come round. I'm now parked to the right of that white vehicle you can see in that photo. That's his van. I'm now parked to the right of that, giving him plenty of space to get into his vehicle. So coming round, I've got to come round quite, with the wheel steered hard. And last night I just overdid it a bit, and I didn't take it off quite as much as I should have done. And I tapped the wall. It doesn't matter really because in the end, I scraped a bit of the back of the car against the wall. But I'm keeping the car. I've got no plans at the moment to sell it. I don't think I probably will ever sell that car. I think it's a case that when that car is, going to cost too much to put it through the MOT, I just scrap it. Because of the fact the boot size is perfect for the dogs. Absolutely spot on perfect. It's an X-Trail 2008. And so you can easily get 5 collies in the back. So it's perfect. But the reason why I need to drive backwards, reverse slightly into that driveway, is because Riley has a habit that if I'm parking, say where that white vehicle is, if I park there and leave the car there, and I just tell him to go to the car, Riley will think, oh, we're not going in the car, we're walking across. And he will start to go across the road. Now, rather than have a dead dog because it's been run over, because tricky thing is, I've got a situation with the tenants of this garden here that you can see here. Yeah, their dog is often just let out, or has been let out, completely unsupervised. And when I come back with my dogs, it either attacks my dogs or harasses them, one or the other. And one time Amber was on her back submitting. Their dog Floyd was over Amber. Does the same to Riley. Like the other day, we were coming back from a walk. Riley was over at the driveway. He would not try and come back down these steps because their dog Floyd was out there, and Riley's scared stiff of Floyd. He's been harassed to the point where he will not try and come across when Floyd is there. So I got annoyed with the lady, said she should be supervising her dog. It's not right that my dog should be harassed, blah, blah, blah. Her boyfriend, yes, I was annoyed. So my tone wouldn't have been very good. And I did say, I don't know why she's got a collie, because collies shouldn't be laying outside all day bored. I can see why the dog, Floyd, has a gut mind. It's bored. So because it's bored, these other dogs come into the area, all fun. Even if it's a case where a little fight between him and another dog, it's better than sitting there bored stiff. Yeah? So, of course it annoys me. My dogs are like my family. For those of you who didn't listen to when I talked about the past, I was put into care when I was 4 years old and never had a family. This is basically my family, right? When you get a dog, especially a collie, they don't just belong to you, you belong to them as well. So, I love these dogs. They're very important to me. So any of them being harassed continually by another dog is just unacceptable. That is not acceptable in any way, shape or form. But then, after speaking to the lady, I made a few phone calls. I thought, okay, let's phone up the council to see, because I'm going to get the council to look into the situation. I thought that's what I'll try and do. But before I'd even done that, her boyfriend collared me, got right up to me. He said, if you ever speak to my girlfriend again, I'm going to cut your effing throat. He didn't say effing. He said the actual, he said that's a threat. He said that's a warning. He said you won't get another one. I said that's what? He said I told you that's an effing warning. You will not get another one. Oh, okay. Problem is, at the time when he said that, I had all of mine except Mollie. I just taken for one, just coming back. So, of course, do I want to get into a confrontation when I've got them there? No. Especially because it's possible that if someone was trying to have a go at me, they could try and defend me and attack that person. I certainly want one of them to be put down because of that. It's also a case, if I get into a confrontation with someone, if I get injured, who's going to look after my dogs? And if I don't get injured, but I win, and the other person gets injured, and then I get pulled in by the police, Who's going to look after my dogs? So of course, when I tap the wall, I'm trying to get the car in quickly because I notice that dog isn't out there. So get my dogs in the car quickly so we can go. My point about this video is quite simple. That as a Christian, we are supposed to evangelize. We're supposed to care about people to the point where we care about their salvation. I did care about this stuff. When I first moved in, I did care. I mean, what people don't understand with regards to my dogs is that my dogs used to use that garden. The garden of the neighbour's garden before they got a dog, and the garden of the people upstairs from me. They used to use those gardens, both of them. And so, now, of course, to them, it's a bit sort of what's going on. They don't quite understand what's going on. They can't use either garden. And then they then get harassed or attacked by the dog in the other garden. So it's all changed for the first 4 years. Me being here, they were able to use that. So, and to be honest, I'll be honest, right? My mood with the whole situation isn't helped by the fact I'm still in this flat 6 years after I moved in, and the day after I moved in, I wanted to move out. Hated it. I was basically forced to move here by the Inverness Council. Not happy with that move at all, but it is what it is. So that's not helpful. And when I only have one way I can go out, I don't have another way. I don't have another choice as to how I can take my dogs out. So like bring my car into there, that's for the safety of my dogs. They don't run into the bloody road. So when somebody intentionally parks their vehicle there and then smiles at me when they do, as in to say, I've got your parking space. You think, oh, God. That's it. You don't want, my friend said, well, puncture his tyres and put a screwdriver through his radiator. No, I'm not going to do that shit. I'm not going to do that. Why? Because then it just escalates. Someone will be then damaging my car. I don't want that. No point doing that, is there really? No. Plus, you get arrested. You do stuff like that. But it is annoying, but it's designed to be annoying, isn't it, really? When the person knows that you park your car there and they've seen you put into the driveway to get your dogs in, they know you get your dogs in that way. But let's make it difficult. Why should you care for these people? Why should you care enough to waste your time speaking about eternity, speaking about hell, the consequences of sin? They don't want to know about the consequences of sin. They're young. They think they have the world before them. They think it doesn't matter. They've got years. They've got years to get the life right, even if they're not right now. They don't care. If they did care, they wouldn't be doing stupid shit, would they? They wouldn't. They wouldn't be doing that. If they cared, then they wouldn't be happy to be annoying, irritating, pain in the arse bloody neighbours. But that's what you get nowadays. That's what you've got to deal with. So, we're supposed to love our neighbour. We're supposed to, deal with that. I'm not going to tell you that this is easy. I'm not going to tell you that doing that is an easy thing to do. I can tell you it's easy to do it at the start when you first meet someone. Really easy. To do it after a while when you find out that person is going to be pretty much all they're going to be is a pain in the arse to you. and that's all they ever want to be, do you want to do that? You want to share that with them? Yeah, another thing that's on my mind and is relevant to this is, you know, if you're in a situation where if you have a gift where you can lay your hands on someone and one person, only one person, you could use it once, where you could lay your hands on someone and that person will be completely healed or brought back from the dead, whatever. If someone who was a massive pain in the arse to you needed that, would you give it to them? Would you give that to them? You should. You should. That's the reality. You should. But my God, it'd be hard to do so. Thankfully, I don't have anything like that because, yeah, if I did, I wouldn't want to give it. But no, sorry, you don't get it. Oh, but then you have that thing that 2 minutes later, you know, God speaks to you and you've got to go and knock on the door and say, go on then, I'll give it to you. Blinking or... But of course, before you do, you want to say, but from now on, you've got to be nice. And God says, no conditions. You can't put conditions on it. And you're like, for goodness sake, Lord, come on. This is an opportunity to get this person to be a decent human being. No conditions. That's life. And this is the reality of life, is that, you know, you get people living near you and you can try and be friendly with people. You know, you can, let people take one of your dogs. You can take care of someone's garden. You can do all of that. But it means nothing. It means nothing at all. And so I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that people rent because they don't see themselves living there for long term. So why would they? Why would they make that effort? Because relationships are difficult, especially friendships. We all have the capability of being morons and being a pain in the arse. At times, we all have that capability. Every single person is a pain in the butt to somebody. Every single person. There's no exceptions to that at all. Whether you're a pain in the butt to family or friends or a wife or a husband, you're going to be a pain in the butt to somebody. Somebody's going to see a part of you that is annoying to them. But generally speaking, they forbear it. Forbearance isn't a word that's even understood in most cases now. It's not taught in church, is it? Forbearance should be, because it's a very important thing. That's what stops us from ripping someone's throat out when they say something nasty to us. That's what stops us from, going ballistic on somebody when they do something or say something nasty. When they do something to be annoying or to be childish. Yeah, to say, ha ha. Yeah, that's, oh God. As adults, I'm 50 years old, I'm not a bloody child. Ha ha. Doesn't impress me much, as Shania Twain would say. Yeah, it's childish, isn't it, really? It's, but forbearance is what comes in. You've got to just say, okay, that person isn't perfect. There you go. There's the other picture. It's finally shown up. That's the steps that I have to go up to get out of my place. I've cleaned them over times. I had to put that gate up there to stop Lucy from getting out. Then I had to put the chicken wire on it because puppies were getting out. It does have a bolt on there, so it can be secured. Oh, that's needed. Yeah, it's not. Well, for example, when there's pups out there, just in case somebody comes down and tries to steal pups, which they could easily do. When the pups are out there without mum, even with mum, I use the bolt on that. And of course, anyone who opens the bolt, it makes a noise. So it's quite a noisy, because it's a bit rusty, it makes a squeaky noise. So it's useful to use. It just helps me to be aware. Because there's a lot of noise outside, especially when it's windy. So, that is still quite a high-pitched noise. So even with the windy noises, I still hear that. So that's good. But yeah. Well, just left of that is what you see. That's a massive concrete area which provides the steps for the place upstairs. And that concrete bit is what you see from my front door. When you open the front door, bang, it's a great big concrete wall. So it's not the best of views. Even that's not the best of views, is it? And on the other side of that, you used to be able to see the garden until the person who lived there, Grant, built a shed that was for his motorbikes. And then more or less immediately after he built the shed for his motorbikes, he moved. He sold the place, moved. It's like, well, I wish I hadn't built the bloody shed now. Because I used to get some sunlight in the garden that I've got. Not anymore. That bloody shed blocks out all the sunlight. So it's like, right, okay, helpful. And then you move. You build that, and you move. So if it had built it just a few yards further up the garden, that would have been okay. I would have still got some sunlight. But, yeah, right there. Oh, well. There you go. So that's the point. People. It's life, isn't it? You're dealing with people. It's all part of life, and it's all part of the crap you're going to get on with. And the weird thing about getting older is you don't necessarily feel that you're older. So especially when someone says something to you, like threatening you. I don't know what that noise is. It's Chewie outside. He went to go outside, so I put him outside, and now there's a ton of noise out there. Probably him trying to get back in. So yeah, if someone makes that sort of threat against you, you still feel the same as if you were in your 20s, but you're not. You're in your 50s now. So how you respond is completely different. I've never been one to want to hurt people. Not really. Not really. I mean, yeah, over the past 8 years, I've gone more in that direction, and that's because, if you've listened to the videos, you'll know that it's around 8 years ago. God told me to stop allowing people to treat me like shit, and I went into the other extreme, really, of being full of rage to people doing that, and so yeah, there's the thinking of I want to do that sort of thing to that person. But then there's the reality of saying, no, I don't really. No, I don't. That's all part of the anger. That's all part of the rage. But it's not really who I want to be. So, no. That's how I've got these dogs that I need to take care of. They're my responsibility. Simple. There's no one else I can think of that I think would be suitable to take care of them. And if I got myself in trouble, to a point where I would have to serve some time behind bars, they would probably be split up. And quite likely they would die before I got out. So that would be a terrible situation. So I don't think, having a fight with someone because they've said they're going to slit my throat, I don't think it's worth it. Not with what I'd lose. With these. If I didn't have these, then yeah, different matter completely. Even being a Christian, to have someone speak to you like that, and yeah, you'd probably react in the moment, but thankfully in the moment, those four went out with me. And there was no chance to react in the moment because I had to take care of them. They were huffy and puffy, they needed a drink, but of course I couldn't really do that because I had to deal with him. And so I just had to get them indoors, get them out of the way because I don't know how they're going to respond. Generally speaking, collies aren't normally dogs that would attack someone if that person is attacking you, but you just never know. As I said, no. If one of those had to be put down because of the fact someone was attacking me and the dog tried to defend me, but then no, that wouldn't be good. So yeah, it's life, isn't it? Really, that's what I'm saying. It's how life is. You've got this in life. Wherever you go, you're going to have this. You have neighbours that are annoying. You're going to have friends that are annoying to a certain degree. It's going to happen. Yeah. I had a Christian friend when I was living down south, and nice enough person to a certain degree. But he had a negativity about him, where if you were in a good mood, he would try and destroy that. He would try and trap you into saying something so that he could pull you apart on what you've said that was wrong. But he would try and encourage you to say that wrong thing so that he could then do that. That was just him. He enjoyed doing that to people. So in the end, I had to end that relationship because of the fact, that's people. People are flawed. People have stuff in them that aren't good for them or good for the people around them sometimes. That's the reality of the situation. I get angry when somebody is doing something, anything at all, that could be detrimental to my dogs. I do. And I get more confrontational when they're doing something that could be harmful to my dogs than when they're doing something that could be harmful to me. My car got a bit of a scrape last night because the person parked his van there. I think intentionally. Now, my immediate reaction was, I'm not happy with him at all. Swearing, bit of that, But in the end, it matters not. In reality, it matters not because the car isn't particularly damaged; it's scratched in places. Don't care. If necessary, I'll book it in somewhere to get it cleaned up. To get that repainted. That area just buffed up a bit. If I can't do it myself, I'll book it in to get someone else to do it. If I'm going to keep this car, then I can spend a bit of money on it to get it all tidied up. It's fine. Or just leave it as it is. It's not too bad. It really isn't. I haven't got photos of it. It really is just scratches on just above the rear bumper on the back of the car and the not driver's side, the passenger side, just there on that corner. So it's just a little bit. So in the end, it doesn't matter. But when stuff is threatening my dogs in any way, shape, or form, even if the threat is mild, different matter. That's a massively different matter. Because it's my job to protect them. I have to protect them. They don't understand. It's like when I take them out, Amber, even though she gets fed plenty of food, she is always searching for stuff. Now, I know that there are going to be people that are going to be putting poison stuff out. There are. So I have to try and stop her from eating anything that's put out. No matter whether it's safe or unsafe, I've got to try and stop her from eating anything. Because she won't know whether it's safe or not. Neither will I. But if I saw someone putting something down like that, it's a completely different thing. Yeah, if someone put food in front of me that's poisoned, and they were trying to poison me, I wouldn't be impressed by it in any way, shape, or form. But my reaction is going to be completely different to if someone does that to one of my dogs. Yeah, if someone does that trying to kill one of my dogs, the reaction is far more extreme. Yeah, you're attacking or you're doing something that risking the health of some innocent dog. I can be a muppet at times, so I can deserve stuff at times. They don't. At least I can see that maybe someone would think I deserve something. They don't. So somebody threatened once to kick Amber because Amber was a bit barky when she was a pup. She was only a puppy, probably about 4 months old. And there was people walking down the park and she went barking towards them. But said, if your dog doesn't stop, I'm going to kick the shit out of her. And yeah. When I said to the bloke, if you even touch my dog, this racket I've got in my hand is going to go straight into your throat. Now, someone says to me, which they have, if you keep shouting at us, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. Okay. I think your threats are way over the top. But I don't care. Because to a certain degree, you think that my behaviour warrants that? Right, okay. Okay. I don't, but okay. But with them, no. Dog's a bit barky towards you. Not biting you, just a bit barky. And you think it's okay to threaten to kick the shit out of that dog? No. I mean, in the end, with regards to even, say, the car, putting into this driveway here, as you can see right now, I'd rather smash the car to pieces than risk, one of the dogs running into the road. That's a certainty. And, I don't care. Neighbour decides to do that, childishness, parking that spot, knowing that that's where I need to park to get the dogs out, knowing I need to reverse into that driveway and, trying to be awkward in that way. That's okay. Not my job to judge. It's God who judges. So, if people want to do that, then go for it, really. Go for it, yeah. If I make a few dents on the car, that's cool. I'm not gonna try and have a go at anyone for that. That's cool. That's what it is. Yeah. So I would be more annoyed if, for example, it has happened. People have made it difficult for me to put into that driveway, more difficult than that, by parking cars there or whatever. And so that would be more of a problem. Yeah, because then I couldn't park there, but I'll have to figure it out. Even if I park somewhere right up against another car, I'll have to do that. Yeah. And if it risks me damaging the other car, well, it's tough for the other car's owner, really. There's Amber dreaming. She's having a little sleep, which is good for her. No. I met a load of people in the park last night. That was interesting. Some of them are very sweet that you meet. They've had a few drinks. There was one young lady who basically said that when Mollie's puppies are born, she'd be happy to come and look after the pups for me. Yes. Very sweet. But that's the opposite, you see. Someone being nice towards the dogs is completely the opposite. That's when you want to just be lovely to those people because they're being lovely to the dogs. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, yeah. So now, yeah, the situation's going to get interesting because I'm not going to respond to situations now. But what I'm going to do is protect these dogs. Simple as that. I'm going to protect them. And if I need to do things differently to protect them, I'm not going to not take them out as a result because that's not a good situation. Like today, we've got rainy. So, generally speaking, today they're going to be playing indoors. When they're playing indoors, they make far too much noise. So, that's not ideal. So, they need to go out. And, if the neighbour's dog's there, I'll just have to, when I can, record what happens. And I will record and I will put those videos together. I'll put them on Twitter, I'll put them on Facebook, I'll put them on YouTube. And these are all things that people can learn from. That's the point. Life is really something that people can learn from. How to deal with people, how to deal with situations. Sorry, with regards to this one, I didn't say the time at the start. Well, it's now. It would have been approximately 1:25 at the start of this video. 1:25 p.m. on the 28th of June 2020. Weirdly, I'm giving a time at the end, not at the beginning. But now it's 2:15 and we are 37 minutes in. So, right, there you go. You take care, God bless, and I will speak to you soon. If anything happens, I'll let you know. But I do videos now on football as well. Occasionally, I just figure I should. Because you've got all these people, giving me views on the football matches. And I figured, well, I've been a fan of Man United for 37 years. Just over, no, more than that, 43 years. So, having an understanding of the club and where it's been when I was first supporting it, where it was then, where it was before all the glory, and where it is now, and how it's got there. Yeah. And also having an understanding of watching how Liverpool went from being completely dominant to being the team that took 30 years to win the title again. And how that happened. Because, that was fairly obvious while it was happening. That you could see what was going on and why it was going on. So I've done about 3 videos of that on that subject so far, and we'll see. I mean, I've done a few so far. I don't mind doing more. What I prefer is, as encouragement to do videos, is certainly football ones. If someone is a fan of the club, of the same club, then comment on that. What do you think? Well, because then it's a case where that can then be a subject for the next video. I suppose part of it is the reason why people don't is because I don't show me. I just show photos in the videos. Usually photos of my dogs. I should have done that actually in this one. I should have put photos of the dogs in the same folder as those photos. But that, I suppose, was for the purpose. As I say, from here, the photo here, that's where I go out. I go up those little steps you saw, and through that garden. That's the way in and out of my property. I can't go another way. So taking dogs out, that's the only way I can go up. Now, as you see here with this, the way I normally do it with the dogs, if we're walking, is I will go to the top of the steps. There, as you can see, I'll tell the dogs to stay at the bottom and wait until I say they can go. Then I'll start running across the garden. So I get to the opening around about the same time they do. So I can tell them to stay, so they don't run into the road. When they run into the car, it's a different matter. I've been doing it differently because the boot is open. So just run into the boot of the car. They know to get into the boot of the car and then job done. I've probably got to start doing things the same way I did before. Because that way it's just a bit more practical. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, but even then, practicality, if my car is parked opposite the driveway, then that will work because I can actually then walk to the car, open the boot, and they are standing right opposite. If I go at a diagonal angle to my car, they will start walking towards the road. I will take some other photos to show this in evidence. Because, yeah, that's the thing with them. If they think I'm going in a different direction, if I'm walking straight and they can see I'm walking to the car, they tend to stay, or at least I can tell them to stay. And then, because it's a no key entry to the car, I just push a button and I can then open the boot. So it's nice and quick in that sense. But as I say, the car still really has to be opposite the driveway for that. If it's parked to the right, then that's not helpful in that sense. So it's a pain in the arse. This place is a pain in the arse, to say the least. The flat itself is tiny, really tiny, even for me. Even when I just had Mollie, this place was too small. Far too small. I've had to build three storage areas outside because there's just not enough storage in here for me. Let alone for the dog stuff. For me, there's not enough. So the place itself, the entry to the flat, everything about it is horrible. I hate it. So that doesn't help when I'm in a situation where something is threatening my dogs. Because my mood about the property is part of the issue of why I'm then a bit more annoyed about the situation. So if I don't have a choice, if I can only do things one way, it's like if I was a person renting either the properties upstairs or next door, they've got a front door and a back door, so they can go out either way. They have a choice. I don't have any choice as to which way I go out. I only have one way. That's it. And so of course it's annoying. And when people say, like the lady next door says, your dog should be on the lead when walking through my garden. Well, actually, your dog should be on the lead when in the public access area, which is where my dogs are running through. It's a public access area. It's not just your garden. So shouldn't your dog be on the lead when it's in that area? Well, try and do that. The dog walks in the area, suddenly you've got to put a lead on, suddenly you've got to take a lead off. You don't need to do that. You just need to supervise, that's all. You see the dogs coming in or coming out, call your dog to you straight away, hold on to your dog until my dogs are in, job done. Right, you don't need to do anything more than that. But sitting there watching as your dog is attacking mine, when it attacked Chewie, they were sitting there watching as if it was some sort of TV episode. No, I'm sorry, that's just not right. I couldn't sit there and watch my dog attack any other dog. Even at one point, I was down the park, and some dogs started having a go at Chewie down there. And Chewie fought back. I called him. I checked if he was okay, but before I even checked that, I told him off for fighting. And I shouted at him when he was fighting to stop him. The owner of the other dog didn't. So I shouted out to the other owner, I'm checking Chewie. If he's hurt, you better run. Because that dog just attacked Chewie for no reason. And the owner didn't do much to actually stop it at all. So, yeah. What did the bloke do? He ran. He ran. Because, in the end, their dog was attacking mine. It's not right. As I say, they can't defend themselves. I can defend myself. I can understand a situation. I can see that maybe a threat has come in, so I can choose to go a different way. They can't. They don't understand that. They're intelligent, but they're not that intelligent. So, as I say, if they've got to go through a garden, then they have no choice but to go through the garden. It shouldn't happen where Amber either has to submit to that dog or Riley is scared to come across the garden because that dog's there. That's just not right. But I don't blame the dog. I really don't. That's another point, isn't it? This video is going on now. It's now 46 minutes. Sorry about this. I don't like going on and on with videos. This point about not blaming a dog. There was a chap who would walk past when I was playing with my dogs, and he had a collie. Now, he had a long lead, one of these stupid retractable leads. He was trying to train the dog with a retractable lead. It's like, that's never going to work. But that dog then nipped a child. So he was banned from going in the local park with his dog because of that. Well, in the end, the dog had to be put down. The council ordered that the dog was put down. But to me, that dog should never have been put down. It wasn't the dog's fault. The dog was simply doing what the owner was allowing the dog to do. The owner should have been banned from ever having a dog again and should have been fined. Compensation should have been paid out to the family and the kid. And the man should have been fined and had to pay the fine. Simply putting the dog down, no. That shouldn't be the option because it's not the dog's fault. This is a living, breathing creature who was reliant upon the owner to teach that dog what is right and what is wrong, what is acceptable, what is not. You can't blame the dog for what the owners have allowed the dog to do. It's just wrong. You've got these people with pit bulls. Again, pit bulls aren't the problem. It's the bad owners. So instead of banning the breed, ban the bad owners. Ban them from ever having a dog. Simple. I know it's not necessarily as simple as that by law, but that's how the law should be doing things. People should be fined and fined huge amounts of money if necessary, or even face prison sentences if their dog attacks a child and attacks a child badly, and their dog has been known to be aggressive. Then that person should face a prison sentence for that. Obviously, if a pit bull attacks even a dog or a child, and to the point where it kills or maims pretty badly, that dog has to be put down, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it has to be put down because it's learned behaviour. Now, there's no real amount of acceptable punishment for that dog that's going to teach that dog that behaviour is wrong. The amount of training you'd need to do to teach that dog, I'm not even sure if it would work. So, unfortunately, that's the case. But I think in most cases, no. It shouldn't be a case where you blame the dog for what humans have done or what humans have allowed the dog to do. Right, you take care, God bless, and I will speak to you when there's something else to give. Take care, bye-bye.